Most people believe their life will change because of one big moment, one big decision, one lucky break that magically fixes everything. But real life doesn't work like that. Success doesn't explode into existence overnight. It grows quietly, like a seed in the ground, watered by habits, strengthened by discipline, protected by tiny, consistent actions that compound over time. Today, I want to tell you a story that proves one thing. Small steps don't just create progress. Small steps create transformation. There was a man named Dara. Life had not been kind to him. His dreams were big, but his daily habits were small, weak, and unfocused. Every night, he said, "Tomorrow I'll start." But tomorrow always became next week, and next week became next year. His room was messy. His goals were dusty. His confidence was collapsing. He felt too far behind to even try. He just felt stuck, trapped in a cycle of good intentions and zero action. One morning he sat on his bed with his head in his hands and whispered, "I'm tired of failing, but I'm also tired of starting." He didn't know where to begin. Every goal looked too big, like a mountain he couldn't climb. Every dream felt unreachable, a distant star he could never touch. Until one day, something simple happened that changed everything. He was listening to a mentor who said, "You don't need to change everything today. You only need to change one thing, and let that change the next thing." Dara didn't fully believe it, but for the first time in months, he tried something simple. He stood up and cleaned one corner of his room. Not the whole room, just one small space. It was manageable. It was. Doubly. When he finished, he felt something he hadn't felt in a long time. Momentum. The next day, he cleaned another corner, then another. And before he knew it, his entire room was clean. Not because of a huge burst of motivation, but because he took one small step, repeatedly. What happened next surprised him. Since his room was clean, it felt clear. The external order started creating internal order. He began waking up 10 minutes earlier, then 20, then 30. He started reading for 5 minutes a day. Soon, 5 became 10, 10 became 20. He wrote down one goal, then 2, then 5. He didn't feel like he was forcing himself anymore. Instead, the habits were pulling him forward. This is the power people underestimate. A small action done daily becomes a habit, and a habit becomes your identity. You don't become disciplined through motivation. You become disciplined through repetition. The small steps were no longer small. They were building a new version of him, brick by brick. Months passed, and something incredible happened. People around him started noticing. His friends asked, "Why are you so different? Why are you suddenly so focused? What changed?" And Dara always gave the same simple answer. "I started small, and I refused to stop. I lost weight." He learned new skills. He saved money. He became more confident, not because of luck, but because of consistency. The tiny, daily actions had compounded into massive results. One day, someone asked him, "Do you ever get tired of trying?" He smiled and said, "I don't try anymore. This is just who I am now." This story is not really about Dara. This story is about you, because you are one small step away from a different life. You are one tiny habit away from a new identity. You are one consistent action away from momentum. Listen carefully. Your life will not change because of one huge decision. Your life will change because of many small decisions, repeated every day. Success isn't loud. Success is quiet. Success is built in the moments when no one is watching. It's built in the choice to read one more page when you're tired. It's built in the choice to go for a walk instead of staying on the couch. It's built in those little victories that no one else sees, but you know you won. You don't need more motivation. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need to compare yourself to others. You need this, a small step. Today, just one. Clean one corner. Read one page. Walk for 5 minutes. Save $1. Learn one new word. Work on one skill. Do it again tomorrow. And again the next day. Because the secret to big success is boring, simple, and powerful. Small steps taken consistently will always beat big steps taken occasionally. The journey of 1,000 miles truly begins with a single step, and the journey to your dreams begins with a single, repeatable action. Life will not change in a single moment, but your direction can. Right now, in this moment, you can choose a small step that starts your transformation. Start small, be consistent, and watch what happens to your life. Because one day, you will look back and realize it wasn't the big things that changed you. It was the small steps you refused to stop taking. And that is how small steps create big changes. Your new life begins with one decision. Start today. Start small and never stop. Thanks for watching.